to save. You have to invest to save. And people still buy those homes paying more for those homes, saving 2 to 5% on their electric bills. Solar, there's no investment out of your pocket. The house is gonna get 30 to 40% back in savings, and it's not gonna cost more for the next owner. Now do you see why these homes with solar sell faster?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And then I pause. He didn't object me, then I move forward, right?
He agreed to it.
I'm waiting for them to agree to it, right? So, role play with me, okay? So, now the way that it works is the sun comes out every day. Panels harvest that electricity, okay? We're gonna send that power into the home right away. What you're not utilizing, we're gonna store it in our battery. Okay, so throughout the day you store it in the battery. At nighttime, you pull from your battery. Does that make sense? Now the goal with solar is we want to design a system that's going to be between 100 to about 120% of the power that you consume on an annual basis. Okay. Now the way we make money as a business, okay, and why people have been really smart about putting the panels on their house is the rate per kilowatt. There's no delivery. So right now you're paying 51 cents, right? Which is an average of 51 and 48. With us, it's 30 cents. So I'll give you a quick example, right? Even before I show you the savings, let's say you could go back in time when you first set up service with PG&E, and they gave you this option where they put this on a piece of paper where they said, hey, you're gonna be on time of use, 54 to 48 cents, or you can choose a renewable source, okay? And it would be 30 cents for that power. Which one of the two would you have chosen?
I'm going with the 30 all day.
Right? The biggest thing that's what most people say. The biggest thing everybody wants to know is how much will they actually save, right? So if we just take the number, if we design a system, I don't know, 10,000 kilowatts. So 10,000 kilowatts at 30 cents, 3,000 divided by 12, what is that? 250. So if I design you a system that's 10,000 kilowatts, you're currently consuming 8,500. So we're preparing you for electric vehicles, for anything that you're gonna do here in the house in the future. Okay, right now you're paying for 8,500, you're paying 361. Not only do you get cheaper power, but it's also more power. So you get more for less, right? So you're getting 10,000 for 250. Does that make sense? So now, obviously you get a ton of upfront savings with solar, but that's not the reason why people have been going solar. Okay. One thing you'll notice is that on your PG&E bill, how long have you lived here in the house?
Like 15 years.
Okay, so 15 years. It's a long time. So you've already noticed this. It's probably why we're sitting down right now. But PG&E over time, they've been increasing, right? So I'm sure you've had other solar guys stop by your house before. The difference was when they first sat down with you, I'm sure the rates with PG&E were, relatively close to what it was with solar. Okay. But what happened over time during that 15-year span that you lived here is they've gone up between 4 to 8% annually. Okay, so here's a bill from 2021. You used to pay 27 cents per kilowatt in 2021. Today you're paying, and it's on Discord, you guys can download that bill, right? Now you're paying 51. So that increase has actually gone up way more than that. The problem with PG&E is not that they go up, is that you have no control. There's no predictability. There's nothing you can do. If they go up next month 50%, what do?
Get fed.
You gotta pay it, right? You're stuck. Okay? So what happens is when we pick the house for solar, the biggest benefit is that you get the predictability. So yes, everything increases in the US, right? If you open up your fridge right now, could you name one item that's inside your fridge that costs the same as it has within the last 10 years? No. What happened?
It's gone up.
Inflation.
Everything's gone up, right? The thing is, with solar, you have a cap. It'll go up, but at 3.5% versus 4 and 8. Now I want to show you what that looks like, okay? So if we take your rate at 30 cents, and we wanted to show you how long does it take, because we know next year what's going to happen to PG&E.
Going up.
Everything's going to go up, right? But what we want to find out is how long does it take 30 to become 51? Does anybody know how to do this? Here's why I do the math on a calculator instead of using spreadsheets. It's a lot more powerful.
Mm.
Okay?
I have a question. With the new update on the iPhone that it doesn't allow you, is there
Yes,
a way-
just download a calculator.
I noticed that too.
Scientific calculator, yeah.
I found one that can do it.
coming back.
Like an idiot.
There's a
It's coming
calculator
back.
plus.
It's coming back.
It's called Calculator
couple
Plus.
weeks.
I did the same thing. Ready? If you
Okay.
download Calculator Plus or Calculator Period, it's called Calculator Period. You can change the color. You'll notice you can change the colors. Okay? Calculator Period. You're gonna do 30 cents. 0.3 times what?
1.035.
Why is that? What is
Not
it?
what I
Why?
That's
Like,
what
you guys
my
understand why the math
First
doesn't
year.
work?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're putting this number in,
compound
what is the
interest.
1? Why is there a 1?
It's 100%.
Right, really quick, focus. Why is there a 1? I'm teaching you guys the math. Why is it a No, the reason why you put a 1 there.
Keep it the same.
The reason why
Because the rate goes up, not down.
Watch this.
The one accounts for the year?
Huh?
The one accounts for
The one accounts for the current rate.
No.
Because-
I thought you were talking on the phone.
Because it's compounding on top of each
Alright,
other.
listen, the 1, multiplication. 1 times this equals
That.
This.
that, right? So if you don't put a 1, it's always gonna come back as 0. The 1 is there to represent the whole number, right? So it's gonna always stay in cents. Always, no matter what you do. You're multiplying 30 cents times 1, so it's times itself, and 3.5%. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's the reason why it's 1.035. Somebody asked me that a couple weeks ago, like, why do we put the 1? That's why. But listen, so if you do 0.3 times 1.035, it's gonna show you the rates. It's gonna show you the rates year by year. So this is what I show them. Right? I'm like, hey, if you do that, it's gonna equal to 31 cents. Now, the goal of the math is I'm gonna hit equals, and every time I hit equals, like on this example, you see right there it says 31 times 1.035. It's gonna show the following year times this number right here, the 3.5%. Now, the goal is to count how many times I hit equals, because that'll represent how long it takes to get to 51. Okay, follow me?
Yep.
So that's the second year, right? And then, third year. And this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16 and a half. So it's going to take 16 and a half years before your 30 cents becomes 51. Does that make sense? And what do you think happens with PG&E at that time? Yeah. So keep in mind that what we're doing today is exploratory. I don't know if we can get your house into the program. Okay.
Pull back.
Yeah. Because I know they're gonna say yeah, right there. It's like, how could you say no? You'd have to be an idiot to say no, right? Okay. So what we do today is we're gonna set up a survey for them to come look at the property to make sure it's a good fit for us. If we find that your house is a good fit, we apply to PG&E and then we get the approvals for installation. But the most important thing is passing that inspection. Do you know how old the roof year is?
10.
Okay, so 10 years. So yeah, when I set up the inspection today, when they come back, I'm gonna write it down that it's 10 years to make sure that we do a thorough survey of the property. Is there like anything wrong with the main panel? So why do you think I said it like that? Like, what do you think I'm doing right now?
You're already making them think if there's any. Assuming that.
I'm assuming the close. I'm assuming the close by saying what he's giving me to see if he's gonna object me telling them that I'm scheduling the survey today.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I schedule the survey today, the reason why I asked if there's a roof is just to get him to talk, so I can ask him if I can schedule the survey today.
Yeah.
But I'm not asking them. I'm telling them, right? In a way, so it's just a sales trick, right? Because if they say, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, I think we'll pass," what are they telling you? Yeah, they're scheduling their survey, right? I'm telling them today is exploratory. I don't know if I can get if I get your house enrolled into the program. The most important piece of this is passing the survey. So today I'm gonna help you schedule that survey to make sure your house is a good fit. But really quick, like, do you know how old your roof is? Right? Because you gave them a statement, like, I'm gonna do this today, and then you remove buying pressure by asking about the roof, and then you instate that you're gonna do it right. That's why I always get doc signed. It's because of the way I say things, right? Does that make sense?
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
So what if you're like a customer, like I get this like kind of often where like they've either looked into solar before, maybe they even had a survey and then decided to cancel out of a project, and they're just like, oh, I know I'll qualify. They're kind of saying that to take it away from you because they're smart, they kind of know what you're doing. Like,
So I would be like, how would you know that?
look, we had a couple surveys done, like, you know, we got the green light from other
It
engineers.
doesn't seem like you qualified. You don't have solar up there.
Yeah.
Just didn't like the deal. that
Fair
they
enough.
That's how I talk to them.
Yeah. Just kind of like strong arm like your position.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
and then what are they gonna say, right? Like,
Yeah.
they could say, oh yeah, we looked into it before. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And what differences have you found now compared to before?
That's a good question. Yeah.
And then what are they gonna say? You know?
Right. Then they'll sell themselves right there.
Yeah. And then if they're just like trying to, I'm like, hey sir, like, is it okay for me to be blunt with you?
Yeah.
Are you trying to justify paying more for power?
Ooh. Great line.
Like if he's trying to be if he's like going against me at this point, he just didn't like me. Like if you do this and they're like objecting you, they just didn't like you at that time. So just be more blunt, right? So just be more blunt. Hey, is it okay if I'm blunt with you? Are
I
you
mean, is
like
it possible that maybe they're also, just the nature of the person is afraid to make a decision? In general, even though they see
Sure.
it and they logically understand it, they're like emotionally like,
They distrust.
no, you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
trust. That means they didn't like you. For them to trust you, they have to like you first. Step one is like you. They have to like you. If they like you, and then that'll give you enough to be able to trust, right? Because I'm not just talking. Like I will show them stuff. Like if they're gonna like everything I'm saying is a fact. Whatever you have questions on, I'll be able to prove it.
One thing I've seen too, just don't fall victim to this, is when you ask this high level question where you're assuming the sell, where it's like, hey, when my guy does stop by, he won't have to get through the gate, really, like it'll be open. And if he answers yes, dude, he just said yes to the site survey. But what I've seen is when I've shadowed people in the home who are new closers, they'll ask those questions because they were taught it, but then when it gets down, they'll ask another low level question, which is like, so you're good for the time that shows up on the light speed? Maybe a time in a day. So are you good for this day? It's like, you don't got to do that. You don't have to double ask that question because now you're just talking him out of it or giving him a way out. If they don't like to make decisions, you make the decision for them. It's like, you're obviously going to be here between 2 to 4 on Wednesday or tomorrow, right? You know, if he says no, then maybe he has something. Maybe he has, a hospital visit or something.
Yeah.
But if he's just like, you make it easy for him.
Yeah, assuming the
That's a good
sale
one.
is
Yeah.
number one. Like I always assume it, no matter what. On the doors, and here's the thing, right? All of this is gonna come down to your energy. Confidence is energy. Okay? So what you're saying is not just it's just a confidence. If you ask somebody like, hey, like what you're saying about the survey, is the gate going to be open or closed, locked or whatever, locked or open? Okay. If you're asking another question and you're not confident, you lost. It's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, just assume it. Like, hey, this is just how it is. That's how I treat it. There's like with me, I promise you, if anybody's ever set an appointment, there is zero negotiation with I've never negotiated. There is no dropping the rate with me. That's not even a question. That's not even like, I can't remember the last time somebody even brought that up to me. Right? So, it's really easy. Like, this is the easy part. But your energy and being selfless, that's really hard. That's the hard part. I'll give you a quick example. That same, right? And here's the thing. When a good thing is about to happen in your life, a bunch of bad shit happens to test your commitment. A bunch of bad shit will happen. I land in LA. I literally get sick, like to the point, like I told you guys, I went to urgent care. The next day, I get to literally right in front of the first house, Matt calls me on the phone and he's like, hey bro, I need you to help me with this guy. So I answer the phone. This guy's yelling at me on the phone. You guys can ask Matt, like literally yelling at me, yoking me, calling me a liar. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know you. Who are you talking to like this? Right? I was pretty, like it got pretty heated, the conversation, like, cause he obviously didn't know what he was talking about, right? And long story short, when I hung up that phone, I remember just thinking to myself, like, he who angers you controls you. Because if I took that energy that I had in that moment, right, and I brought it to the next door, I would have not got it. But what I did is I just like cleansed myself of that bad energy right away. He who angers you controls you. Nobody controls you, Junior. Go do what you gotta do. You're the best. I was talking to myself in my head. You're the best at this. You help others. Like, how many calls do you get from your customers complaining to you? Not many, right? To be honest, not many, right? If it's gonna happen, it happens during the afterwards. It's like they're good, right? And then I just told myself, just God, just help me find one person that needs my help. Knock my first door, I get an appointment, right? But it's just the energy, right? I was able to just like wash that away from me, and then I focused on the things that matter. Okay, so, and that's the reason why I'm sharing this stuff with you guys is, if you want to make 300K this year, okay, you're gonna have cancellations. You're gonna have a customer be pissed off because we showed up late to an install. You're gonna have a missed survey. You're gonna have no-shows. You're gonna have relationship problems. You're gonna have fucking bunch of excuses in the way of you going to work. Like, those things are gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Are you okay with those things? Are you okay with having cancellations? Are you okay with having people not show up to an install? Can you own up to it? We're having issues with power. Are you okay with having those issues with power walls? Are you okay with having, that's the question, are you okay with the bad things? Because they're gonna come. The bad things are gonna come. What makes us who we are is not when things are great, that we're positive, right? It's when things aren't great, and we continue being positive and we work at it. Because the solution is gonna get found, right? So be a part of the solution, don't be the problem, right? If you have any issues going on, just sell more deals. Like, whenever somebody comes up to me, right, and they're like, dude, like this happened, this customer's gonna cancel because we missed the install and they're pissed, and I'm like, great, go sell more deals. But bro, I'm like, just go sell more deals. If you had 10, we're not gonna fuck up on 10. We'll fuck up on 1, but what's happening is you're giving operations too little of a how would you say, a
margin of error. Yeah.
Margin of error, right? Like, if you only have 1, that's a pretty much 100%. Something's gonna get fucked up in that one deal, right? Like, it's pretty much 100%. Like, something's gonna go wrong with one deal. But if you have 10, 15, you have 20, right? Because if you can sell 1, can you sell 2?
Yeah.
If you can sell 2, can you sell 4?
Yes.
If you can sell 4, you can sell 12.
Yes.
Right? So it's like, it's just understanding that that's gonna happen. Like, if you guys can come to if you can accept that will happen, and that's why it's all coming together for all of us, right? It's like the word surrender that we keep talking about, right? That's surrendering, is when okay, for Ecclesia to be the #1 team in the company, or for Titan, or whoever, right? There's gonna be reps that are gonna get fired. There's gonna be reps that just quit. There's gonna be leadership conflicts. There's gonna be turf problems. There's gonna be other teams in your area. There's gonna be all this shit. Are you okay with those things? If you say, I'm okay with those things, that's surrender. Then okay, this is going to happen. All I have to do is be in control of the things I can control. So if you're a closer, I outlined it for you. That's how you make 300K. I promise you. Toso, your first 300K in solar, did you do anything different from that list? Isaac, your first year as a closer, when you make 300K, did you do anything different from that list? Zach would be here right now, same exact thing, right? Anybody that's made that money, they know this is it right here. That's it. focus on that. This is easy, guys. So I showed you this. This shit is like, who in here thinks they can't do this? Like, this is the easiest part of the sale, is getting the doc signed. That's the easiest one. If you copy this word for word, like, you're gonna close deals. Like, sure. But can you do this? Because that, if you do this, this is second nature.
Actually, we kind of taught that little thing to her little brother, and